Okay guys, today we're going to start on a new project which is going to be the Blue Ridge Mountain Sunset, and you're going to do some watercolor painting and some paper tear. So getting ready to show you how you're going to do your sunset. For our sunset, we are only going to be using warm colors. Yes, I know that there can be other colors in a sunset, but we are just going to be using red, orange, and yellow. And you guys are actually not going to be using a paint palette. You're going to be using liquid watercolors because that's just a little bit easier for everybody. So anyways, what you're going to do is you are first going to take your paper and you are going to draw a line across the middle. So pretty much directly in the middle, you're going to just draw a line, okay? And we need to make our sunset in the top portion of our paper. So once you've drawn your line, you are then going to use your sunset colors to paint your sunset. And I've already done a little bit of this just so that you can kind of see. But when you do any sort of watercolors, first of all, you want to sort of blend them together some. And so if you don't blend them together, what happens is it looks like stripes, okay? And so you want it to look a little bit striped, but it doesn't want to look like clear stripes across your paper. And so you are going to work all the way down. If you want to work a little bit under that line, that's fine too. So you're just going to add your color, and remember yours is going to be wet, so some of mine's already dried. But you're just going to layer your color. So you see how that red and that orange mixed a little bit, and what happened is that created almost a new shade. That almost created another new color that would be pretty on our sunset. You are going to need to paint off of your paper some. Don't worry so much about that. You can clean that up at the end. So you're going to paint off just like that. You're going to get this whole section painted, and then you will put that on the drying rack, okay? So you remember, you want your lines to go from left to right. You don't want to make motions up and down or diagonal, or we're not painting pictures or anything like that. You're just making left to right motions, but you're also working to blend your colors together, okay? So remember, when we use watercolor, we don't want puddles that are sitting on our paper, but we want it to be spread out and just barely damp. So now that I've done this, I'm going to put this to the side, and you would put this on the drying rack. And now we are going to go onto the papers for our mountains. Now, depending on what school you're at, if you are at North, you are only going to be doing 1, 2, 3 sections, and your papers are going to have little tick marks for you to draw lines across. If you are at Bethware, what you are going to do is you are going to take a big long piece of paper right here. You're going to fold it in half, okay, crease it. You're going to fold it again, crease it, undo it. And both schools are going to label our section. So the first one is light blue, then purple blue, and then if you're at Bethware, you're going to have a fourth one, which is purple black, okay? So you're going to get that labeled, and then you are going to paint your watercolor. So this is going to be light blue, this is going to be blue, this is going to be purple blue, this is going to be purple black. Do not worry so much about if these colors blend a little bit here. That's not a huge deal, okay? So after you have that painted, that is going to go in the drying rack. Now, I went ahead and painted 2 colors here. So this is light blue and this is blue. This color might be a little bit different. This is really like a turquoise blue. But anyways, don't be upset if your color is not the exact same as mine, okay? So here is back to our sunset. What we're going to talk about now is how to tear your mountains, okay? And so what I suggest when it comes time to tear your mountains, I'm going to move this out of the way so you can see how I tear, is that first of all, we want our mountains to look fairly pointed, okay? Because we want them to look like mountains and not waves, which sometimes happens. So you're going to start up here. You're going to use, this is the hand I write with, I cut with, I throw a ball with. This is going to be the hand that I tear. This is kind of more like a safety barrier hand. So you're going to see how that works. So if I take my hand right here, and this is my safety barrier hand, if I want to tear diagonal, I can take and guide my tear that way, okay? Remember, when we're doing paper tear, okay, this is not like we're opening a present, tearing it open at Christmas time. okay? That's not what we're doing, okay? We're using this as an artistic method, and so we need to take our time and tear carefully, okay? So now, I have created not just one piece I can use, but 2 pieces, okay? And if you look at my finished product, here's my finished product. I want to make sure that I start with the light blue, and then the blue, and then the purple, and then the purple black if you were at Bethware, okay? And so, what I'm going to do now, if you have time, and at Bethware we have a little bit more time, what I encourage students to do is to lay this all out and then glue it down. If you're at North, you probably need to lay it out and then glue it and then move on to the next colors, okay, just for time's sake. So when you go to put your first row of mountains, okay, first of all, we want to cover up that line. I see so many students that put their paper here, and look, there's a little white speck, and you can see my line across. So you want to make sure that this is covered up, okay? And so one thing that's really cool with this project is, watch, I can take and layer these 2 pieces of paper, and I might want to move this over here. You know, I can kind of shift it around. But I'm going to move it to where I like it, and it's not going to look like just one set of mountains, but it's going to look like 2, okay? So I would take, and like I said, if you're at Bethware, lay them all out. If you're at North, go ahead and glue it down. I'm going to try to move this out of the way, and then I'm going to do my other set of papers. So I'm going to take, and remember, I'm guiding these, and you don't have to make your mountains like super sharp, pointy. You can make some that look kind of more rounded. And so just like that, I've got another 2 pieces of paper. And so I can kind of move these like this if I want to. I could maybe flip them around and see, how do I like that better? I don't think I like that better, so I'm going to move them back, okay? And I'm going to move them around so that it looks like 2 separate layers. And what I'm eventually going to do is I'm slowly just making my way down to the paper. So at the end, this part of my paper should be covered up. I should not be able to see this. So I'm going to glue all these papers down. And sometimes, like, if you tear them and you don't maybe like how this turned out, maybe you don't have to use this one, okay? So you do have a lot of freedom in that. Now, our last thing that I'm going to show you is how to do the sunset, or do the sun, not the sunset, excuse me. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your red oil pastel. Up in one corner, you're just going to make a circle about the size of a quarter. You're going to color this in with your oil pastel, and then you're going to take your finger, just one, from the center, and you're just going to pull out, and you're just going to move your paper. I like to move my paper around in a circle like that, and by pulling out, it's going to give a kind of a glow to your sun. And that is our finished product, which will look a lot like this. I hope you guys enjoy it.